Radio K, Real College Radio. You are tuned into Soul Food, going every single Sunday from 8 to 10 p.m. That song you just heard is called Dream House by Deaf Heaven from their 2014 album Sunbather. Some people call it shoegaze, some people call it black metal. I call it good. I just really hope the guy that sang it had like a cough drop after his throat went through it, most definitely. The song before that was Diamonds Dancing by Drake and Future from their 2015 collaboration, What a Time to Be Alive. Very sad song. I hope I never feel how Drake felt at the end of that song, but if I'm being honest with you, I've been to that place many times in the last month at least. And we started off this block with the classic Footsteps in the Dark by the Isley Brothers from their album Go For Your Guns. Song that's been very influential in hip-hop history. It's been sampled by Ice Cube and Thundercat and plenty of other people too. Got a lot of people with me here in the booth today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, starting off with MARQUESISDEAD.
Yeah, what's up? I'm MARQUESISDEAD.
Dre Nasty, Dark
LeVay Rose.
Zodiac.
Yeah, we in this. Whoa.
We
here with the gang.
Yes, we are in this place, indeed. And I have a couple.
I really almost blew it early.
I got a couple questions for Marks and eventually the other people in the room with me. So, MARQUESISDEAD, when did you start rapping?
I was probably like 16, like 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you want to start rapping?
It was a lot of people like doing the rap thing at my school, and I was just like interested in music like ever since I was like young. So I was like, all right, let me try this. So I just got in the booth. My friend had a studio, made a song. That's that.
Where'd you go to school? High school, I mean.
I went to Wayzata.
Oh, cool.
The Birds.
Yeah, I have a friend that went there.
My mom went there. Shout out my mom.
Hey, shout out Ben's mom.
Hope she's listening. What was your biggest challenge when you first started rapping?
Honestly, getting people to take me seriously kind of was the biggest challenge, because it's like it's rap and music in general is just pretty oversaturated. So it's like when you hear of like a new person coming on, you're like, oh yeah, you know. But like my stuff's always been good, so it wasn't like all that difficult.
Do you think it's easier to like musically connect with like someone that's never heard of you before, or like with a friend to like get them to like support you or whatever?
Way easier with someone that's never heard of you, because it's like a first impression. Like if it's your friend, like they kind of already have like a preconceived notion of who you are. So it's like when you show them like that side of you, it's kind of like they like have a harder time adjusting to like how you might feel inside, or like how your music portrays you and stuff. So I definitely feel like that's a challenge.
I feel that. So you've been rapping for a couple years. What, in your opinion, was like your first success, or the moment where you knew like, okay, this is something that I really want to pursue?
I had started off when I did this like in this group like the Vice Boys with like Rodizzy, Chansa, Nate P, Yaiko, and then there's this dude named Koki, but you know stuff started to get shifty. But we had landed our first big show opening for like Xavier Wolf back in like 2016 and stuff, and it was the biggest crowd we'd ever had, and everybody was feeling us. Like from that moment on, like people started seeing us as like a serious thing in this game. So like I feel like that was probably the first time where I was like, yeah, I could definitely do this.
Okay, good to know. What is Black House?
It's just like this little collective / like label type deal that I kind of just had the idea one day, and I posted on my story on Instagram like, yo, I got this little idea that I'm like working on. Anyone want to be a part of it, just let me know. Like we got a whole bunch of responses and stuff, and then throughout months of just natural selection, the gang had formulated. And now we ready to take over.
So what's like the ultimate goal of Black House?
To take over.
Take over? Take over Minneapolis?
Nah, bro. The worldwide domination. Worldwide domination. We really just trying to bring something new and fresh to the table. And like, yeah, you know, we using our business minds. But, you know, we coming up. We prospering.
Okay. So who's all a part of Black House that might not necessarily be in the room right now?
It's a good amount of people, but I mean, obviously we got them. It's CK from here. Fambo from Chicago. Young Fambo. Demi is just like the big man of the group. Yeah. We got Muddy Mick.
Shout out D.
There's a lot. There's D, Big D, Kennedy, Donnie and Johnny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Bro, it's a whole list. There's a lot more affiliates too, but it's just like, you know, I'm just a big ass.
That's okay. Press the dump button. Anyways.
Are we still live?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
So.
We just a big group, you know?
Yeah.
Happy family.
You guys have been throwing some pretty cool events over, like, across Minneapolis this past couple of years. How'd you guys get into that?
We've only really been doing this since, like, June, to be honest. Like, it's been, like, only, like, 5 months.
Yeah, when
Really?
Yeah, so, like, it's,
Yeah.
that was June, and then we had one in August, and then we had the one, like, 2 weeks ago. So, like, we just kind of getting our foot in the door here.
Last week, bro. No, it was a week.
It was
That was last week. No,
it was
last
literally, yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
Yeah.
Last Friday.
Alright.
Anyway.
So, point is, we still fresh. Like, we getting our foot in the door, and, just coming out, like, I feel like every event we throw, we get, like, more ideas of how to throw the next one and make the best move. So, it's just kind of like a snowball effect type deal.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, question for you. I noticed that you're really into, like, fashion and stuff like that. Who are, like, your biggest influences fashion-wise?
To be honest, I kind of be having my own style, but like my homie Dakari be having some dope fits.
Yeah.
He definitely showed me a few things. I mean, obviously like Ian Connor and Bloody Osiris going crazy, Luca Sabat. I don't really pay attention too much to the fashion world though. Like I'm not gonna sit here and like flex like I'm like this big fashion dude or whatever. But like I don't know, I be having drip, you feel me? Like even in the cozy fits, but yeah, I don't know. I draw a lot more inspiration from like people I'm close with, just because they like give me ideas and I'm like always around them. So like Nick Cartwright's going crazy, Dakari obviously, Della West, he's going crazy. My homie Saab from Chicago going crazy. It's just a lot of people. Like my head's like a big melting pot.
Okay. So I know we all remember things like Rockaware, Echo, like all those like Sean John, all those like rappers started like fashion brands.
Yeah.
So like if you had to wear one of those for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Nah, y'all.
You're tweaking.
Yeah, you guys are tweaking.
I think ice cream go pretty hard for Rose. Rose deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finna go that high.
Yeah, right. Like I mean, he said rappers started
Oh
close.
yeah, I wear BBC.
BBC.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I be drip. Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't really rock the Rockaware or any of that.
Yeah.
Rockaware was going.
You see that?
Echo.
Rockaware was
See,
going a
that's
little
the
crazy
problem.
back in the day. The Rockaware Air Force Ones were hard.
Hey, you know
Yeah,
Echo.
I've
You know
never seen
Echo.
those.
I've never seen those, but Echo had a video game where you
Yeah,
just
they-
ran around and like Mark Echo was like spray painting stuff. Like that was cool. Like I never seen that.
I heard that was a good game.
I don't know.
It was kind of a Jet Set Radio Future like
right,
ripoff, though.
right. Those
So-
games, man. They just don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
But shout out Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, this show, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all big fans of Red Dead 2 on there. Arthur Morgan. My Arthur Morgan has a lot of drip on him right now. I must say so
Feel me?
myself.
Hey,
Bro,
where's the
bro,
strap?
we get
Where's the strap?
Darko's, bro. It was just at Darko's house.
So I open this next question to the floor. If you had to live inside of one anime, what would it be?
Tokyo Ghoul, because that's the only anime I ever seen.
Damn.
Pokemon
You said anime
count?
trash?
No, I said
Pokemon
East
definitely
Coast.
counts.
Pokemon counts?
I would count, I mean, anime is a very loose term. I would count the
Yeah,
Boondocks
I'd
as
say
anime, maybe.
You count Boondocks as an anime?
I mean,
think so.
It
I
is.
count Boondocks.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
say
say,
for the most part,
Boondocks is an anime.
Just
I might have
because
to
of
go
that,
super
like-
basic just because there's like one that I like always thought like honestly, Naruto, just the just the whole like atmosphere of that world is like something I've always been like, damn. Like no cap, like I like plenty of animes, but like Naruto for sure.
I'm
like,
sticking with Pokemon.
If I could be a ninja, bro.
I'm really messing with the Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Whoa, get out of here,
bro! I'm just feeling that way, bro.
You're capping.
Bro, that would be fire, being like a waterbender or something.
I don't know, that
You
world,
do the same thing in Naruto.
that world, both of those worlds are just in a lot of conflict. I don't know, it's
facts.
hot.
There'd be a lot of
It's hot on the block.
Folks want the smoke.
It's hot on the block.
Alright, that's fair.
Oh, I thought you said
It's hot on the
Oh,
block.
come on.
So if you had to live inside of one video game, then what would it be? Keep in mind you're the protagonist, so like you're not gonna
main
die per
character.
se, but like you have to live inside of it.
Some of the best games, the main character does die.
Red Dead Redemption 1. That's true.
Oh man,
Oh man, I don't even know, bro.
These questions are like super like.
this is a good.
It's
question.
philosophical,
yeah.
man. We're really trying to get to know you guys.
Skyrim would kind of be fire.
Skyrim would crack.
Skyrim would be so crazy.
I would have so much anxiety just walking down the street though,
I
like
know,
low
I
key.
know.
Just dragon come out of nowhere.
Low key. I already get nervous just playing it,
You
bro.
could just say Pokemon again. Too.
You could say Pokemon.
Bro, if anybody says Pokemon, they gotta
I've
be
played
the
too many video games.
Yeah, on me,
I
bro.
love too many that I could just be like, I want to stay in this one.
I would fuck with
Life is
Halo,
Strange
low
was a
key.
fire
Halo
game.
would be.
Halo would be
Halo.
ice.
Shout out Life is Strange.
That's good. Why it's good.
I don't know, bro. Like
Yeah.
video games, like I feel like I'm already like in the world when I play them. So it's like I don't. Like,
Tired.
I don't know if I would want to live in a video game.
How do you guys feel about VR?
That shit crazy,
It's
low key.
interesting.
Yeah, it is really crazy to be honest with you.
Oh my gosh, my bad, bro. Yo, that is crazy though. Like it's like, it's actually wild. Like the graphics are good and like, I don't know, bro.
We
That,
need
Are
to
you
get
saying
that
VR.
just threw me off. Someone else
We
has
need
to
to
talk.
get VR.
Yeah, VR is cool. So back to like the normal questions, I guess. So if you had an unlimited budget for your show, what would a Marks is Dead show look like?
Well, I mean, first of all, it'd probably be a Black House show, but probably something like the Camp Flogna stuff, like where they have like just like yeah,
Yeah,
like
that'd be
nuts.
nice.
Like just have like rides and stuff, like some crazy like House of Mirrors,
Yeah.
some like dark shit.
Bro, Post Malone's festival was actually kind of fire.
Posty
He
Fest?
has a
Yeah.
How did that go?
Apparently it went really good.
Wasn't it like a couple of days ago?
Yeah,
it
they
was
sold
like early
that
this
out.
week.
Like so many people.
Yeah, and like Travis Scott has a festival coming up soon too. I think it's a very interesting concept. It's
I wanna
lucrative
throw
too.
like a festival but like overseas, like on some like exclusive.
What would a Black House festival look like? I just feel like I would be afraid to go to that, but in a good
It
way.
would kind of be. I'm pretty sure it would be gnarly. Like we wouldn't just have some like
Oh yeah.
soft.
no. It wouldn't be nothing soft.
Someone's getting
It would have to
Okay.
be, dude. It would have to be like around Halloween, just cause like.
I feel
we'd
like
probably be
yeah,
doing
we
some,
went
like-
crazy because of Halloween. I feel
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I'd want like people in some crazy costumes.
Valley scared. Yeah.
like people have to like sign a liability waiver before they get in, so they can't sue.
Oh,
It's so
Yo,
you should look into
yeah,
that.
man. Who knows what the future Who knows what the future gonna
Blowing
bring?
fires.
Definitely, but yeah. So what's your favorite album, Marks?
My favorite album.
Do okay in Underdog.
I like. I like Shed by Title Fight a lot. I don't really like. That's a broad question. Like a
that is a
favorite
good
album. Like a favorite album.
It's a hard question.
It depends on my mood, really.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Party
like,
Next Door too.
what? You're a cat.
Nah,
Never.
never mind the Bullocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. 100% final answer.
Solid.
Do okay in Underdog.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Shed.
Shed. What are like some of the different moods that influence like what music you feel like listening to?
I be feeling angsty and angry a lot. But then sometimes I be like sad, or like sometimes I'm just like in a flexing mood. So I'll just like
Bro,
Yo.
Chief Keef all day, every day.
Hey, yeah, you know, so every once in a while, Chief Keef has to be done.
Do you think that those moods like affect like your recording process too, or is it more of like
yeah.
a one-track mind kind of thing?
Nah, 100%. Like I don't really have like two songs that sound the same. And it's like most of like the stuff that I create is based on like the mood that I'm feeling. Like this, I got this song called Truth, and that song I was kind of can I say I'm drunk? Or I was.
I mean, you said it.
All right. Well, you know, I was in a altered mind state, and I was feeling a little melancholy. So that's how that track came to be. Like I was just kind of like whispering, like smooth flow on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a song called Murder on My Mind, and I was just like pissed at a lot of stuff. So like it's a pretty aggressive track.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Murder on my mind.
Yeah, your music, a lot of it seems to come from like a darker place. Is that accurate? Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I mean, just life isn't always pretty.
Yeah.
So I like to display that with my art.
So like, what is music for you then? Is it like a catharsis, like when you listen to other people's music? Is it like an elevator?
What do you mean?
Like, so a lot of your music comes from a dark place. It seems like you're healing yourself, or like you're just like you use it as like a sort of medicine. Is that what you
Yeah.
come to music for?
It's kind of like like a release or like an escape. So like I honestly don't know what I would do without music. It's like it's an important part of my life, like always, like throughout my day. So it's definitely something I use to like kind of like put myself into a different mind state, or like if I'm feeling down, lift myself up, or like if I gotta get something done, like make myself more serious. Like it just, you know, it all depends on how I'm feeling. It's definitely something that's important to me though.
I feel that. So what are your thoughts on like the Minneapolis scene? Well, it's one thing you would want to make better about it, or like how do you think it is right now for like supporting like local artists and stuff like that?
To be honest with you, it's a lot of talent here, and it's a lot of good artists. I feel like for a while everyone was so like caught up like trying to like, oh, we have to do this together, like if we're not together it's not gonna happen, like blah blah blah. So if, like a lot of like relationships felt kind of forced and stuff, and you know, obviously it doesn't always work out like that, but I feel like the scene here is getting a lot more confidence in itself recently.
Mhm.
So people don't feel like they have to like work off of somebody else's like progress, or like come up with somebody else. Like they're having the confidence to like come up on their own and like come up with ideas that they support themselves. And I feel like that's a big part of like how I've been feeling recently too, because the Black House stuff, like this is something that we created from the ground up, like just like alone. So it's like we're not piggybacking off of anybody, like we're just, you know, trying to get it how we live on our own terms. So I feel like it's the scene here is going in the right direction for what it needs to be if we're gonna have mainstream success.
I feel that. I definitely agree with that. So is there anything coming up for you guys in the future that you want like people listening to know about? Any shows, projects, or anything like that?
It's up to you, bro.
I'm not gonna spill the beans real quick, but like I will say that we have something huge planned for end of the year, and it's gonna be like something that I have not seen too many people from Minnesota execute correctly. So I'm very excited for that. But that's all I can say right now.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Any like parting messages? Any last things you want to say that we didn't get to talk about? All right.
Black House forever.
Yeah, Black House forever. I really don't have too much else to say. Just pay attention to like myself and the Black House people are gonna be doing coming up, because we're really about to shake something up. You know.
Nice. Well, it's been super nice to have you guys in the booth.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's no problem, man. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. I hope like there weren't too many like weird spaces where there was no noise. But oh well. We're gonna finish out the night with some Kill Bill soundtrack stuff, some MGMT, and way more. So yeah, stay tuned here on Soul Food on Radio K, Real College Radio.